Good. Well, good morning, y'all. Oh, I think I better tighten that up. Um, when I sit around and I try to think, yeah, it hurts. But when I try to think of something that I want to talk to you guys about, I just draw a blank. But I don't know what I'm doing to cause my phone to cut off when I'm making a video. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, but anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the video that comes before this one. I was out in the yard and trying to tell y'all that I was trying to figure out how to level that ground out there on the left hand side of the storage shed because I've got those blocks I want to put down. But anyway, I was out there doing that and I was trying to show y'all that, and and it just kept cutting off. So I'll hook them together. I don't know if you'll even be able to get anything out of them. However, I must say, and I mentioned this in the other video, Miss Hazel scared me to death this morning. She just kept sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And I was answering comments, and I just kept looking over. I was sitting on the bed and I kept looking down at her to make sure she was breathing and she was okay. And it was a little after 10. And she was starting to wake up, but I got her up anyway. And I thought she must have peed somewhere, and that's why she was able to sleep, blah, blah, blah. She hadn't, I don't know. But she has been a little different. When I took her outside, she wasn't, she's doing it now, but she hasn't been all day. When we were outside, I put her down on the far end of the patio because that's where I was. And she walked around a little bit, but mostly she just sat there. And I was like, dang, that's awesome. Her pacing has just gotten so bad that she goes so fast and in such a tight circle that she's tripping herself. And when I'm in the bedroom, I just put some of her little blankets down, like by the corners where the walls are, so she doesn't bash her head in. And yesterday she was just falling all over the place. I don't know why. She's pacing now, but she's going slow and not in quite such a tight circle. She's walking a little and then she's looking around, and she seems to be doing better today. Don't you? Don't you? I wish she could hear me or see me. Hear me would probably be better. But I'm so thankful for that. And thank you guys so much for praying for Hazel. Um, I have no clue why she slept so late. Maybe she was just totally exhausted. Jerry was over last night. He came by, and of course, he's always uh, so funny. He walks in, and he starts looking around like he's looking for something to do. And he sees my crossword puzzle, jigsaw puzzle on the table. Oh my gosh. Immediately he sits down. I was sitting over there trying to work on it. And it's hard for me to sit on the kitchen chairs because of my sciatica. And I even had a feather pillow over there. But he comes in. I just wish y'all could see. He comes in. He puts his little pack or whatever down on the floor and his little Gatorade. He turns the chair around and he sits down immediately and starts working on the puzzle. And it doesn't take him but just a few minutes, and he's looking at pieces that I've put together and he's holding them up. He said, Deb, when you can see daylight through there, those puzzle pieces don't fit. Oh my gosh, you guys. He's so funny. And we got, I use that term loosely, we got all the borders and the corners done. And a little bit of the other stuff kind of down at the bottom. There's some daisies. But y'all are right. I mean, I need to put something down on that table so that I'm not looking through it. It would help it a lot. I've got something somewhere. But a lot of good ideas on the puzzle, y'all. I've separated them out into colors, things that look like they're going to go together. So I've separated those out, and I'm going to put them in separate little bowls, and I'm going to get them out of my way, and then just work on one part at a time. And y'all had really good, advice about that. I just think it's hysterical that he comes in and he just looks around. Now, I've got my little owl succulent holder is still in the box that Karen sent me, but I kind of moved it out of the way so he wouldn't see it. And I didn't have to worry because he sat down to that puzzle immediately. He stayed and worked on the puzzle quite a bit, and I finally said, I can't do this anymore. I can't sit in this chair. And so I got my tablet and went and sat in the recliner, and I was just watching Miss Hazel just twirling around and around, thinking, and Jerry and I were talking about it, and I'm like, I don't understand how she can do that. I don't understand how she can keep going on and on and on with no break, no sitting down, no laying down. So finally, what I have to do is I just have to pick her up and make her sit with me for a little while. So I was playing solitaire, and Jerry was working on the puzzle, and Hazel was pacing. And I tried to get her to sit down with me, and she would stand up and start whining. That means put me down or I'm jumping. So, but it was a nice evening. One of the things that I do miss about being married is just, I've never been afraid, and y'all know that. I've lived by myself, I've lived in a van, I've lived in a car, and I've never been afraid. It's just knowing that there's another person. With Chris and I, he watched TV I didn't like. He studied all the time. He was downstairs in his office. I was upstairs in our room watching TV and eating ice cream. So, but it's just that thing that there's somebody else there that if you wanted to talk to him, you could, but you didn't have to. So I was sitting over here playing solitaire and watching Miss Hazel and wishing I could do something to make her feel better. And it was just quiet. I mean, it was dead quiet in here. And so I asked Jerry, I said, Jerry, I said, is it quiet at your house, or do you have a TV, or do you have something? He goes, oh no, oh no, it's quiet, just like this, just like the way I like it, very quiet. And I just thought it was funny. But it was very nice. I mean, he was working on the puzzle, I was playing solitaire, and it was nice, comfortable company. So I really enjoyed that. Um, and it seemed like there was something else I was going to tell y'all. I'm trying to figure out the best way to level that dirt out there. I tried taking down the high spots with my pickaxe. That wore me out pretty quick. I did sift a bunch of nasty old dirt and twigs and leaves and rocks and got a bunch of buckets of dirt. So I'm thinking that I might just sprinkle that dirt to fill in the low spots and then sprinkle it all with water and let that settle and then see what else I need to do. I just can't dig up that dirt myself. I wonder how I did that before, because y'all remember when I worked on that yard, man, oh man, my Energizer Bunny's battery broke. I don't care what you see on TV. The Energizer Bunny does wear out eventually. But I'm going to figure it out. I am. And I have so many projects. I've got 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 lists going about, or, with lists of projects that I want to do, that I need to do, that I should have already done, that kind of thing. But I do have to clean out the inside of my shed because that dolly of Terry's is huge. It's huge. So I already started on that a little bit. I took empty boxes out of there. And I really had saved too many. I like to keep a couple so I can, tear them up and paint on them. But let's see, what else did I do? I put some yellow paint on one of my owls. I found a quart of black paint that I can play with and see, very light touch for eyeballs on the owls. I am missing some paint, y'all. I had a whole bunch. Oh, I know where it is. Maria and I are supposed to paint her turtle. And I took a big basket of containers of paint over there for her to pick out the colors she wanted to use. Dang, I'm so forgetful. And she would never remind me or ask me. So I'm going to have to make myself a note about that. I found this the other day, and it had a card that went with it. And look at that. Look at that I gotta be still. Beautiful handwriting. Just gorgeous. Beautiful paper too. Look at those little birds. But the card is somewhere because I've kept every single one. Joan and Ellen almost fell out when they saw all those cards. this little card and letter is from Mary Ellen R. Now, I think there's a Mary Ellen or two, I'm pretty sure, on in the community now. But I don't know, sweetie, if one of y'all are Mary Ellen R, then holler up, okay? She said, she invited me up there to stay with her. She lives close to some lakes, and and sent me a postcard too. I remember that postcard thinking, man, I could park tank up there and stay forever. Gets cold in the north though, y'all. But I just wanted to show you this because her writing is so tiny, but it's so pretty, and I can read it. And she has a little Yorkie named Chloe and some outside kitty cats, and I have a guest room that you are welcome to. That is so sweet. She said she's up by Sacramento. So I'm going to try and contact her. And when I go see my kids and my grandkids when they're in high school, my head always itches after I wash it. Maybe it doesn't like to be clean. But when I ran across that the other day, I just had to show you that, her handwriting and how pretty it was and everything. And so please, sweetie, if you are still with me, please speak up so I know you are. I'm going to make another video right after this one because it's totally about something else. See you later. Bye now.